Why do you guys think that there's been, there's an increase in a lot of these experiences that young people are facing?
I do think there's much more pressure on young people today than there has ever been before. I think that we're not talking about it in schools or colleges, anywhere really that we need to be. I think from what I see online, young people are kind of creating their own identities online on things like Twitter, on social media, and they're not really expressing, they're hiding behind a computer screen, and they're not really expressing themselves outside of that, we need to be encouraging young people to talk, and talk face to face with people. It's not happening. I know so many young people that come home from school and the first thing they do is go on the computer, and they'll be on the computer all night. When do they talk? When do they have the chance to talk? And that's the reason I think that mental health issues are increasing. One of the reasons, at least, I think.
Well, I think we need to be teaching our young people that it's okay to talk about these things, that it's very normal to talk about these things, and it's healthy to do so. And I think we also, personally, I think we need to be teaching them about spiritual practice in terms of mindfulness in particular, in order to look after their mental health. It needs to be something that's seen as, in the same way that you look after your physical health and you go running and you go and do yoga and you eat well, you also need to be thinking about your mental health in exactly the same way. And it's only by doing that, actually, that young people and sort of future generations in society as a whole is going to be able to actually cope with and deal with some of the problems and challenges. The problems and challenges of life are not going to go away. It's how we deal with those as people, and I think we've lost the ability to deal with those things, and then that's exacerbated by the fact we're not talking about it either. And it's a pressure cooker that's building and building and building, and that's when we're then seeing these huge rates in depression and anxiety and suicides. And it's because of that. So we need to go back to the drawing board and teach our young people about how to deal with life.
We also know that there's been massive cuts in the mental health system, particularly services geared towards young people. So if a young person goes and asks for help, they usually won't get it. The child and adolescent mental health service is just a complete mess, to be honest. When a young person reaches 18, they're cut off from the service, they're just dropped. And then they might not get onto the adult mental health service, so they're just left to their own devices, and people do fall through that gap. And it's even more reason why we need to be talking about it in schools and just out there in society, because people are not getting the help they need.